We start with our first development story in the business community. Ghana's manufacturing community has called on the importing fraternity of the Ghana Union of Traders Association to collaborate and support production of made-in-Ghana products. The president of the association of the AGI, Dr. Yao Edu-Ejimfi, therefore wants the interests of local manufacturers to be prioritized first. Government in the budget reversed the 50% and 30% benchmark values upon consultation with the AGI due to its threat to industrialization. But Guta has rejected the reversal, warning of some 25% hike in the price of goods. But speaking at the 61st annual general meeting, which is currently ongoing, the outgoing president of the AGI, Dr. Yao Edu-Ejimfi, kicked against Guta's position.
It is important to emphasize that the policy has not been totally scrapped. It is only a review of the policy. We are rather surprised at the reaction from our colleagues from the Ghana Union of Trade Association, Guta. We thought they would rather rally behind us to support the local industry for growth, since we have been talking about made in Ghana products for all these years. I would like to take this opportunity at our occasional AGM to urge our colleagues from Guta to cooperate with us and resolve in dealing in made-in-Ghanaian products to help create jobs and develop our country, because Ghana belongs to us. Our doors are always open, and we are ready to engage on this matter with our colleagues from Guta. The principle should remain clear that industrialization is our key for development in any country of the world.
Well, speaking of the benchmark values, the Ghana Union of Traders Association has mounted stiff opposition against the reversal in the 2022 budget, citing threats to local imports as well as the price of goods and services. Let's put up sections of that particular report that they have mounted. And of course, it reads that the Ghana Union of Traders Association, umbrella body of about 68 traders association nationwide, in conjunction with other relevant stakeholder groups in the private sector, namely that of the Food and Beverage Association, Importers and Exporters Association, the Pharmaceutical Importers and Wholesalers Association, the Ghana Freight Forwarders, Customs Brokers Association of Ghana, Automobile Dealers Union of Ghana, Concerned Spare Part Dealers Association, have met and unanimously resolved to vehemently kick against the reversal of the 50% and 30% benchmark value reduction policy presented to Parliament by the Finance and Economic Planning Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in the just read budget. They go on to say that this unbearable situation led to outrage and serious agitations by members of the business community, especially importers, and call for drastic reduction of the cost of doing business in the country. They have therefore called on government, according to them, in the very fourth paragraph, government made them understand that it was constrained by ECOWAS common external tariffs and as a result could not reduce import duties easily, but decided to adopt this method as the best option to alleviate the suffering of Ghanaian businesses and restore peace in the country. Therefore, in the very last paragraph, reversing this policy, they say, will not only be inimical to the growth of businesses, but will also spark intense protests that may result to unrest in the country, as the atmosphere is already full of tension due to the pronouncement by the finance minister. So that's the statement from Guta there. They're, predicting, bad times in terms of mounting nationwide protests against the policy. Let's move on to other, paragraphs in the statement. And they're saying that it is needless to mention the diabolical, insensitive and irrational lobbying by the government by the AGI to perpetuate obnoxious policy against their local competitors in the business arena. Their bane lies in their lack of understanding of modern business and failure to acknowledge the real factors mitigating against their performance as an industry. Well, the AGI, according to Guta, should stop driving a wedge between local manufacturers and other key players in the private sector, because the attitude has the potential of growing risk of unity among members of the private sector, which will not help the developmental agenda of the government. It's signed by the Secretary General of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Alpha A. Shaban there. Well, this has been responded to by the outgoing president of the AGI in the ongoing, annual general meeting. Let's get on board the president of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, to help us understand what exactly entered the scripting of this particular press report. We're grateful that you could join us, Doc. We've heard from the president of the AGI, the outgoing president, calling for calm and also imploring your members to collaborate to ensure that the interests of local industries stand tall. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, it is a welcome news, and this is long overdue, because this is what we have to be doing, because we are very relevant stakeholders in nation building, and that's what they are forgetting to know. And that manufacturing is never complete. They do not stand alone. We are very integral part of manufacturing. If that's what they think, that they stand alone, then that's why they are failing. Because we are very much intertwined with manufacturing. Not until they recognize this fact and work with us hand in hand and stop destroying us, they will never also succeed. And so the call from their president is in the right direction. But in the meantime, we are not going to, we've made a lot of concessions for the manufacturing sector, and we can't make any further concessions again. The fact that we have the benchmark value they are enjoying, and we are also enjoying the benchmark value, they want to, they are lobbying government to take the benchmark from us and then maintain the benchmark for them. Well, how do they seek to destroy the trading sector, the distribution sector, and then have their way? This is not how it's done. The issues that is militating against their production far outweighs that of the importer, who would have gone to buy goods from thousands of kilometers away, pay duty and all that. They have to benchmark their goods with their counterparts elsewhere. And then when they find the problem, they go to government and say that these are the problems that make us uncompetitive, rather than putting all their frustration on us. It is not fair. Well, and that we are not going to allow them to have their way. They will never have their way, because we will never concede to them. In
Dr.
this case,
Obeng,
we have a set of programs.
Great. In your press release, of which we have presented, you have exclusively stated the reasons why you're opposing this particular reversal, of which you've rightly submitted. But in sections of your press release, lie threats of a nationwide protest in this particular angle. It begs the question, though, have you exhausted all channels? We recently did hear of some engagement with the Deputy Trade Minister. How far with that engagement?
Yeah, we have unfinished business with government, if this thing will be allowed to go, because the benchmark value reduction did not come out of the blues. It did not come out of emptiness. It came as a result that we have a serious problem, and government recognized that. And the acceptance of which that government reduced the benchmark as an alternative to mitigate the plight of the trading community. So the problem still persists. So not until we've sat down to find a way that the same problem, government find a way to mitigate it, and then some conclusions come. They cannot reverse us to a problem. I hope you understand that if there's a problem and you prefer a solution to it by using the benchmark reduction policy, if you are even taking off the benchmark, then you are not taking us definitely to the problem. What have we done? Have you started engaging government? That's what government promises, that they will have stakeholder engagement with us, and that hasn't come. And until then, that we have gotten the assurance that we are not being reversed to that problem, we are not going to accept this, because we cannot sit down for government or for AGI to pursue government to impose this on us. We'll never do that. They are sector players, and we are also sector players in the business community. They could not pursue their agenda against ours. We have a set of problems, and they have their set of problems. They should talk about their problems and leave us alone. This is not fair. Government should listen to us also. We are equal stakeholders of the nation building. For their call to collaborate with them, I agree to it, but it's long overdue. But nonetheless, I'm open, and my people are very open also to receive the leadership of AGI for us to sort things out ourselves. That call is in good order, and I respect that.
Guta is for warning of possible nationwide protests. How soon?
Yeah, I'm always for dialogue. You know my leadership style. I always want to engage government and talk, and I have a great deal of respect for government, because we most times they listen when we put up cogent reasons, and we've done that. We put cogent reasons for them not to listen to AGI, and I'm waiting for positive dialogue with government. If not, I cannot manage the frustration that is being put to bear by my membership. That one, it will be difficult for me to manage their frustration. And so it depends on what my members tell me. And then we are also waiting for government also. So it depends on what government do, and then what we also do, so that we can build some consensus. Otherwise, I cannot manage the frustrations of my people.
Dr. Obin, we're grateful that you could join us. He's president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association there, mounting a stiff opposition against the benchmark values. Well, a development story that we're following closely as we speak. The Association of Ghana Industries is having their national elections to have for themselves new executives that will man the interests of the association and that of the business and manufacturing community. We shall get you update as and when we have it, as we're picking that the Vice President Humphrey Dake, who is standing unopposed, could be the next president of the Association of Ghana Industries. So we'll give you much more details on that as he joins us with his vision for the association in our subsequent bulletins. But away from that, Ghana has an opportunity in the coming decades to accelerate economic transformation and create more better jobs after navigating through the heights of COVID-19. Now, that's a revelation from the World Bank's latest economic analysis for the country. The report said Ghana can achieve this through fostering greater global integration, technological transformation, macroeconomic stability, and financial sector development. Here's the World Bank's country director, Pierre Laporte.
The World Bank's latest economic analysis themed Country Economic Memorandum, Ghana Rising, accelerating economic transformation and creating higher quality jobs. According to the report, Ghana has all it takes to continue being an economic development star if it takes the right steps to nurture growth and job creation. Listen to World Bank's country director, Pierre Laporte.
This report comes at a particularly critical time. The COVID-19 pandemic, as we all know, has led to reversals in development gains throughout the world, and its impact on Ghana has been no exception. Despite relatively low infection rates, the 2022 budget, recently presented by the Minister of Finance, charts an ambitious course to support job creation in a fiscally sustainable manner. Our hope is that this report can support this vision with evidence-based policy analysis. As Ghana looks at how to promote a more inclusive and resilient recovery post-COVID pandemic, this report provides important recommendations for how economic transformation and leveraging enablers of growth can drive long-term growth, boost productivity, and meet the country's job challenges in an inclusive way.
Speaking at the launch of the report, Minister of Finance Ken Ofori-Atta divulged that government is implementing some projects in the sum of $400 million, which would create an estimated 300,000 jobs.
I would like to also thank the World Bank for supporting us in being able to capitalize the Development Bank of Ghana. It was against a trend of anti-development bank thinking, but the World Bank found a way to do that. And today we have about $800 million as a first start, and the Central Bank gave us our license 2 weeks ago. Government is also implementing the World Bank funded Ghana Economic Transformation Project and the Ghana Jobs and Skills Project in the sum $400 million designed to support Ghana's economic transformation and create an estimated 300,000 jobs.
The report also said Ghana faces an urgent need to repair the link between growth and poverty reduction. This is because the impact of growth on poverty reduction has declined over the past 3 decades. Here's David Elmale, senior economist with the World Bank in Ghana.
Growth in itself interests us, but that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal, at least viewed from the World Bank point of view, is poverty reduction, is that this growth trickles down to people. And so what we look here is the poverty reduction performance of Ghana. And here it's really an important message. And the fact is that this link between growth and poverty reduction has been, if not broken, damaged, distended. So in the 90s, despite the slow growth, we had very good poverty reduction, about 2% per year. In the late 90s, early 2000, dropped to 1.4, then to 1.1 after 2005, and then to 0.2 in the period 2012 to 2016. And what is worrisome is that at the bottom you see the gross poverty elasticity. What that tells you is that for 1 point of growth, how much you reduce poverty, and that number has gone down too.
Now, the entity responsible for leading quality under the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, the African Organization for Standardization, has been tasked to develop a single quality policy to aid smooth trading under the pact. According to Chairman of the Select Committee on Trade, Carlos Ahinkra, this is part of efforts to remove several barriers to trade and improve the ease of doing business on the continent. He spoke at the 65th ASO Council meeting in Accra.
By and large, it's important that we all stick to one quality policy, come up with one standard document, and ensure that as far as AFCFTA is concerned, we're not going to leave any country out, or we're not going to leave any holes within the general supply chain for countries to suffer. And that responsibility for me would lie on the heads of the ASO, or the African Standardization Organization, which is having its council meeting, the 65th council meeting here today, the reason why we're here. I would like to entreat them to ensure that before they leave this meeting, before they complete whatever discussions that they're going to have, they should ensure that a charter to guide every African country, all African countries, to come up with one composite document as far as standardization is concerned, is arrived at before they leave this meeting. And I know that with the caliber of people in there and the interest shown by most African countries, head of states, I'm sure that they're going to do that.
Meanwhile, Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority, Professor Alex Dodu, has expressed commitment to ensuring standards under the pact are kept.
Be aware that ASO has signed up to lead standards for the AFCFTA, and that if AFCFTA succeeds, ASO will succeed. If ASO succeeds, Africa will succeed. So for ASO, the success of AFCFTA is not negotiable. We will make the African Continental Free Trade Area work. We pledge that to our heads of government, we pledge that to the African Union, and we pledge that to ourselves.
That was Professor Alex Dodu, Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority. Well, away from that, the University of Energy and Natural Resources has partnered with the Bukom University of Applied Science and Solar Taxi to outdoor e-motorbikes in Tsunami in the Bono region. Now, the e-micro-mobility in Ghana project is expected to help reduce climate change. Engineer Dr. Eric Enjo, a senior lecturer at the UENR and, of course, the regional director of the Center for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, said A maker space as part of the project would help build the capacity to convert existing fossil fuel motorbikes into electric ones. Here's more from Precious Semevo.
The e-micromobility in Ghana project, funded by the German government, is aimed at reducing climate change and carbon emissions with a more sustainable, energy-friendly mode of transportation. The outdooring of the e-motorbikes follows a memorandum of understanding signed between the partners during a kick-off workshop in April 2021 in Sunyani. The bikes, which are without chains, are also fitted with battery packs and meters that indicate battery usage, among other features, and will be charged at designated charging stations. Engineer Dr. Eric Nkwiofosu is a senior lecturer at UNE and the regional director of the Center for Energy and Environmental Sustainability.
Now, these three motorbikes, one of them was transformed from the fossil fuel motorbike to an electric motorbike here in Ghana by Solar Taxi. Then the other two are originally designed as e-scooters. So we are going to put these three bikes on campus to test run them and use them. They will serve as opportunities for us to also conduct research on them in terms of how much they are contributing and their efficiency with respect to our climate, our system of use. Now, with a space of about 3,500 square meters, and this maker house is going to be used to train our students. We're going to train a lot of youth in Ghana so that they will have that capacity to be able to do this. So we want to use this space to look at the economic side, the value addition.
Arnold Anochi Amuatin, Northern Sector Operations Manager of Solar Taxi, said the technology is environmentally friendly and less expensive to operate.
When it comes to the front of climate change, you realize that using the fuel-powered vehicles or motorbikes, for every kilometer that you travel, you pollute the environment by 96 to 98 grams of carbon. But if you compare that with that of electric vehicles, it is lesser than 5 grams. If you are comparing the operationalization of electric bikes to that of fuel bike over a 10-year period, you incur something around 12,000 cedis. If you compare that to fuel bike, that's at the minimum side around 43,000, 45,000 at the end of the 10 years. So it tells you that electric bikes are quite economical and environmentally friendly.
A researcher with the Bochum University of Applied Science, Fred Ejei, hopes a conversation to move beyond research into commercial e-motorbikes operations will kickstart.
Our initial focus is on the converted motorbike, and we hope that we'll be able to create a commercial version that would be deployed in Ghanaian society and act as a substitute or an alternative to traditional mobility. This is the hope that we have. In the future, we want to move beyond research to actually go into commercial operation, or we want to see businesses that are active in the sector in e-mobility, not just e-mopeds, not just motorbikes, e-vehicles, e-buses. We want to be able to kickstart that kind of conversation to have that kind of vibrant economy.
Precious Semevo, JoyNews, Sunyani.
And that'll be it for the marketplace. I'm Charles Ayete. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Many thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.